It's another thrilling day here in Ohio. Sub-zero temperatures, threats of snow, and dog licking my hands. But I got to bitch about something first. We threw this up there, a couple clips from the Mummy and the Monkey show, and then something else, and then people PM me or email me about how to get this, and when I tell them it's like $15, I never hear a damn thing from them, and it's like $15 shipped. I mean, I don't know what people expect. It ain't free. Costs money to make, and legitimately there's only 3,000 of these made, so when they're gone, they're gone. But be that as it may, if you don't want it, no problem. But it's 15 shipped, and put it out there. Sort of like disappointing to get like 10 emails about how much it is, and then when you tell them, you don't get nothing back. So I don't know, I don't get it. But anyway, fuck it. How about a drunken New York story for today? That ought to mount things up, because I guess sometimes, like on days like this, it pays to be drunk all day. But anyway, I was sitting in our local watering hole, the Linford Lounge. Anything but a lounge. Actually, the Linford Lounge, which used to be called Monahan's, and it was basically an old speakeasy that had this huge section in the front where they put a pool table. But back in the roaring 20s or whatever it was a barber shop, and there was levers actually still in the basement of the bar that you used to manipulate to open the door to go in and drink. So it was about 5:30 on a Saturday afternoon. I was done with work, went home, took a shower, and was sitting in the bar with my buddies. And it was Matt and this other guy, Tom, and this guy I knew by sight named Cliff. Cliff was about 5'0", had a shaved head, which was strange for that time, and a little pointed goatee. And he was very soft-spoken. So we're sitting there, shooting the shit, and Cliff then announces that he's going to New York for a drink and invites everybody to go with him. So I'm sitting there yeah, okay, I don't know who this guy is that well. I know him from being in here. So he looks at me and he goes, "I take it as a personal insult if you didn't join us this evening." So I give Matt the eye. Matt gives me, he's okay. Okay, so fine. We go pile into Cliff's 1970 Cadillac Ballbuster and head through the Lincoln Tunnel. This just became like a bar hopping thing, because the first bar you see when you get out of the Lincoln Tunnel around near Canal Street is the Three Roses. So that was our first stop. We pretty much worked our way from the bars on Canal Street down to Times Square. Of course, we had hit my watering hole, Club 44. And then we hit Club 45. We hit the Wagon Wheel. We hit the Peppermint Lounge. We even hit the Terminal Bar for some strange fucking reason. And you got to figure, I was drinking Michelob's with a shot of Seagram's as a chaser, which basically, depending on where you were, was about $2.50 a drink. Except when we wound up at the Metropole, the go-go joint, which was a 2-drink minimum, and that was a bit pricey. But it wasn't me paying for a lot of this shit. It seems like that wherever we went, somebody knew Cliff and somebody bought a round. So I would, not buy the second round, because we just kept getting drunker and drunker and driving further and further till we wound up in Harlem. And we had a couple of drinks at a place that Cliff knew there, and then in New York, the bars close at 4 o'clock in the morning. So I figured, well, that was it. And Cliff goes, no, we're not done yet. I know a place that opens at 4:30. Let's find a place to buy some beer. So he gets this wino to tell him where we can buy beer after hours, as long as we give this guy a 6-pack. So we get a 6-pack, and we're sitting in front of this place, and then I guess, Cliff knew what was going on. We walk up like 3 flights of stairs, do the secret knock, secret handshake, and we're in. And this place was up in a loft somewhere. It was down off on the Lower East Side somewhere. I'm not exactly sure of the street. But it was like Dante's Inferno. Every pimp, hooker, whack job in the fucking world and career drinkers were there. So I'm looking at the glasses are dirty, and I'm like, give me a can of beer and a shot. That's all. Can of Budweiser and a shot. And me and Matt are sitting there going, this is really fucking weird and fucked up. So Cliff is having some kind of argument at the bar with some woman in the middle about eating pussy. And this guy is claiming he's the best, and Cliff is claiming he's the best, so there's one way to prove it. So they pick up this girl, throw her up on the pool table, pull her skirt down, and lo and behold, there's the one-eyed. Cliff passes out. Me and Matt look at each other going, oh fuck, this isn't good. So like, let's get him out of here before he becomes the entertainment for this night. So we're trying to rouse this comatose guy up. We carrying him downstairs. Now we're looking for the other two guys that came with us, and one of them had picked up a hooker and was getting, shall we say, behind a dumpster. So we're blowing the horn trying to get this guy to come out. And finally Cliff wakes up a bit and goes, what happened? And I'm like, well, you don't want to know, Cliff. You really don't fucking want to know. Let's not relive this. I'm good, I can drive. Well, no, you're not really good, but it's your car. So we're trying to get back to Jersey, and there's this couple walking hitchhiking. So Cliff, for whatever reason, picks them up, and they're in the back seat between Matt and Tommy. I'm in the front seat, and there's another guy, I think his name was Steve, next to us. So all of a sudden, this couple starts having a fight in the middle of the fucking car. And I'm like, fuck this, Cliff, pull over. So Cliff pulls over, Matt bails out and grabs somebody by the back of the neck and drags them out of the car. So we kick them the fuck out of the car. And we head back to Jersey to the Linford, which opened at 7 o'clock in the morning for an eye-opener. So that's how some of these little trips in New York went. It wasn't the last time we went with Cliff. We were sitting in the bar again, and again Cliff brings up the fact that he's got a truck full of watermelons outside, a tractor trailer, that he has to deliver to Hunts Point. And it's got to be dropped off, so why don't we just go drinking? So, all right, but we had been sitting in our bar for like 4 hours, so we were pretty tanked up. So we start heading toward the Lincoln Tunnel. We're in this big cab he has with a sleeper and shit. All of a sudden, Cliff turns to Matt and goes, take the wheel, I can't drive anymore. I'm like, did you ever drive a tractor trailer? And he goes, well, I guess it's the first time for everything. So we get this fucking thing into the city. And I'm thinking, you know something? It'd be best to really just do what he's supposed to do. Just drop this trailer by Hunts Point and let's just like end this shit. So we somehow, Matt got this damn trailer over to Hunts Point where the produce was, and we left it there. And then we proceeded to go back to Manhattan. And then I think he found a place to park this damn thing because we weren't going to drive around with this damn thing all night. And of course, we made the fucking rounds again. So, I mean, you know, weirdly as this sounds, and like, you know, I might have been a power drinker back then and all this stuff, and I don't do too much now because it takes a lot out of you. But this was basically our Saturday nights for a good number of years, just getting off work, or if you were off that Saturday, just wait until everybody else got off work. And then, you know, meet up at the Linford and then plan where we were going to end the night. Because if you were going to go to a club, it was cheaper to get half loaded at the Linford and then, you know, go to the club and pay and get, you know, the one drink minimum that was overpriced because you had half a shit around anyway. So that's the way it was back in the early 70s. So, and kids, don't try this shit at home. So this is 42nd Street Pete saying thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing, and above all, mask up and stay safe, and don't do the shit that I describe here, because it was good back then, it ain't fucking good right now. So again, stay safe.